Flosstube, I'm Annie and I'm the proper stitcher, and this is Flosstube number 13, and I am back. I am so sorry I've been gone for 2 weeks. I have been on so many adventures I can't wait to share with you. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. If you're returning, thank you for coming back. Thank you all for subscribing to my channel. This is a channel where I like to talk about cross stitch and some quilting, and hopefully give you some inspiration to keep on pushing through some of those whips that have been piling up, or finishing a project that you just felt like you couldn't do on your own. So welcome, grab some coffee, some tea, whatever it is you'd like to drink, grab your stitching. Because I've been gone for 2 weeks, this video might be a little longer. I'm going to try not to let it be too long, but I have so much to share with you. I have stories to share with you about my trips. I've been to on two different journeys, and I've been to four or five cross stitch stores, whips to share with you, and some haul and a lot of gifts. So stick around, grab something to drink, grab your stitching, get comfortable, and let's get right to it. So last week on Tuesday or Wednesday, we left to go, today is July 2nd, by the way. So last Tuesday, my family and I left to go to Michigan to do some college tours with my daughter. And it was a busy week. We crammed in a lot in a short amount of time, but it was so much fun. It really is the beginning of really getting into and really looking into some of these schools, whereas before we just would do a drive-through of the campus of some of these schools, but now we're actually going and doing a formal tour. It's a lot easier this summer now that things are opening up, and so because of COVID and restrictions are lifting and schools are really getting back into the swing of their regular touring schedules. So we did that last week. My first time to Michigan. What a beautiful state. We had a great week. Weather was lovely. We were in southern Michigan. I would love to go back and make it a little bit further north, but maybe if she ends up going to school there, we will. But we went to Michigan, came home late Thursday night. And when I say late, I mean 1 in the morning late. And jumped in the car the next morning and met my friend Kim Gavlik, who owns Stitch Etc. I met her in Greenwood, Indiana, to help her do some of the pre-work for her upcoming retreat. She is hosting a retreat at the end of September in Greenwood, Indiana, and it's a Halloween retreat that she's hosting with Priscilla and Chelsea from Stitching with the Housewives. They're going to be the guest teachers or instructors of this retreat. So I got to tag along with her, help her get some things ready, and part of that job meant we went to all the cross stitch stores in the area. So I will tell you all about that as I go through my haul. But I was with her from Friday until yesterday. So I got home late yesterday evening. So today is Friday. And again, those of you who are new, I usually like to film on Thursdays, and I usually like to do that every Thursday. But I was traveling last Thursday and I was traveling yesterday, so my schedule is off. I'm hoping to get back to my regularly scheduled programming soon. So thanks for your patience, and thanks for all your messages. People asking how I'm doing and when can we expect another video. So here we are, Flosstube 13. And what's exciting about this one is we get to celebrate 3,000 subscribers. You all have helped me reach that mark. That was a goal of mine, to hit 3,000 subscribers by July, and we did it. So thank you all for sharing my channel, talking about my channel, and subscribing and coming back. I'm looking forward to more of you joining us. So we are going to have a big giveaway at the end of this video. So stick around for that. So why don't we get into everything? I'm going to go over whips that I've been working on, haul that I have purchased over the last 2 weeks, gifts that I got in the mail. I'm going to do some Flosstube shout outs for some Flosstube friends, and then we'll do our giveaways. So it doesn't sound like a lot, but again, it's 2 weeks worth. So here we go. So who stitched their way through June? I did. Look at all of this. I just love these calendars, these book of days. For those of you who aren't aware of what book of days is, it is a needlework enthusiast journal, if you will. This is what the cover looks like. This is for 2021, and this is put out by Needlework Press. And that a lot of people get this from the attic, but I got mine from Stitches and Things in Michigan from Deb. And on my travels this past week in Indiana, I saw some in several stores. So it is published every year, and it's just wonderful. And then I get stickers from Etsy and from different places, and I fill out what I've been working on and my goals for that month. Now, some of my stitching goals I did not get to this month. Life gets in the way, travel got in the way, just other things came up, but I have been stitching a lot. I just didn't get some of the things I wanted to get done, but that's okay. But it's fun to look back over your month and see the progress you made. And now we get to turn to July. And it's hard to believe that we are halfway through this year. So here's my little drive home yesterday, and then I'm filming my Flosstube today. So, but it is fun to look back and see what you've worked on. So if you did not get into this year and you want to do it next year, just be on the lookout for it, and I'll remind you of it towards the end of the year when they publish 2022. So my whips, I'll start on that. Actually, no, let's just start on our whips. So, and then I'll breeze right through these. I will talk a little bit as I go through these. While I was on my trip this past week, one of the stores I went to was Keepsakes in Sharonsville, Ohio, which is right outside Cincinnati. And I happened to meet a fellow a viewer who watches my channel, and she introduced herself, and her name's Kim, and I'm so glad that she did. But she said to me that she wanted to stitch the 'Tis the Season from this Blackbird book, but she had the book wrong. She thought that it was from Joy Noel, and she could not find it. And I told her that it's actually in Home for the Holidays. So it reminded me that I should probably show you all the cover of this book, because she was looking for the wrong book, and now that she knows what it is, she was able to order it because Keepsakes didn't have it in the store. So inside Home for the Holidays by Blackbird Designs is this design that I have been stitching for a while. It is called 'Tis the Season, and it is this design. So pretty with the cardinal. Cannot wait to get this one finished. I'm getting a little bit closer to getting this one done, although I did not work on it since I saw you last, but I wanted to share it with you for those of you who are seeing this for the first time. And that's with a lot of my whips. If I didn't work on it, I'm still gonna share it unless it's been months that I haven't worked on it, because this may be your first time and I'd like for you to have an opportunity to see it. But this is 'Tis the Season, and I am using the Bella Soie Color Classic Works, Classic Color Works silks on this. And I'm using the called for colors. So all I have left is the cardinal and to finish the border. And this is a beautiful stitch. I'm stitching this on 32 count Valor Belfast linen, and it has a green tint to it. I'm filming at about 5 o'clock today. It's been a very busy day trying to get caught up on everything I've missed. I usually like to film in the mornings, and it's been raining. So I apologize if the lighting is not right. But this is sort of a green tint with beautiful modeling on this linen. It feels great. The silk feels beautiful. And I've had people ask me, you know, a lot of the charts can be converted into DMC or cotton floss, but if you're really wanting something special, or if you're wanting to have something that has just a little different sheen to it, silk is a beautiful transition if you'd like to convert that, if you want to splurge on one of your projects. It just makes it so much fun to stitch, and I am using the silks for this one. So hopefully I'll have this one done soon so we can celebrate a finish. So that is 'Tis the Season. It is inside of Home for the Holidays Blackbird Designs book. And with this being the first weekend of July, I'm going to jump on with Brendan, the serial starter, and do Blackbird Weekend, since it's the first weekend in the month. So like I said, I have a lot on my table, so I'm just going to be throwing stuff around. Please forgive me. All right, so for hashtag Tomato Tuesdays, I am still working on Summertide Blessings by Plum Street Samplers, and I love this design. I'm getting so much closer to a finish, y'all. Just please be patient with me. But if you don't know, but on Tuesdays, I do hashtag Tomato Tuesdays with Kim Gavlik with Stitch Etc. And so this is my progress on this. I just have the border and one more tomato down here and a little flower up here. So when I get the border done, I will add those two. I saw this finished in Keepsakes as a pillow. It was beautiful. Their finishing in Keepsakes is perfect. And I'll get into all that later, but because I want to tell you all about the stores. But their finishing on this was perfection. But it was a pillow that they did, and they stitched it. So whoever stitched their model left the girl off, and they moved the flag over or the crow over, and they just stitched the crow and the flag. And that was a wonderful idea. And they left the words off. But I'm doing it as the chart calls for. So this is Summertide Blessings, and I am using 32 count Belfast linen. And when I use 32 count and 28 count linen or fabric, I use 2 strands of floss over 2 threads. So 2 over 2 on this. And it is almost finished, hopefully. Again, I'm getting so close to some finishing. We can play our little celebration song when we finish. Oh, actually, I did finish one. On the car ride, I've told y'all this, when I am in the car traveling, I like to stitch Prairie Schooler Santas because it's easy on my eyes. I don't need a lot of color changes. Most of the color, I have all the colors in the same project bag. I can see the linen without a magnifier or a light. So I finished this one. This is North Wind. This is the 2020 Santa. So I finished him, and this was stitched on, oh goodness, I always do this. This is stitched on the called for Davos linen, and it's 18 count. Sorry, I didn't realize I had this 18 count Davos linen, and I love it. I can't wait. I have a stack of these I need to finish. Maybe for July, I'll do Jolly July Christmas finishing just to get some of these pillows and ornaments caught up, so I don't have a lot to do as it gets closer to Christmas. So he's done, which means I get to start another one. So I am also doing a stitch along with Stitch Etc. and we're doing Clarissa B. So we shortened the name, but this is Clarissa Beaumont by Little Robin Design. And I realize I'm talking so fast. I am so sorry. I usually don't talk this fast. I think it's because I look at all of this stuff I want to go over with you and I'm talking too fast. All right, Little Robin Designs by it's Clarissa Beaumont, and we are using the hashtag Clarissa B for this stitch along. I am changing some of the colors as I go, and it's just I'm pulling it from the stack of colors. This calls for a lot of DMC colors. So I have them all on bobbins, all on this ring. And if I'm stitching a color and I'm like, I want it to be a little brighter, I just pull from the stash and do that. But I finished a row and then I started this and this line. So that's how far I've gotten. I am stitching this on 32 count Country Mocha linen. And it's a lot of fun. I don't know, I mean, I have too many whips going right now, so I'm behind on a lot of my stitch alongs, but I am just in love with the bottom half of this, all of these animals, and then all these colors that she used in her letters. So adorable. So I'm hoping to get some of this done. I might start on the border soon because I'd like to kind of have it framed. I just feel like it's complete. You know, it helps me to fill in if I get a border at least started. So I'm going to work on that too. My next one is still my favorite, but still has not gotten a lot of attention, is Hello from Liz Matthews, Butterfly Cloche. And I am using the MPI silks on this. I decided to splurge on this one. This is one that I was going to do the DMC threads, but I decided that this is one that I really want to showcase in my house. And we have a few historic or antique prints that are hummingbirds and butterflies, and this reminds me a lot of that. My husband and I like to collect those, so I decided to use the silks on this, and we're going to put it in our living room. So I'm using the MPI silks on this, but what Liz Matthews and Kathy Barrick, her mother, what they do, which is so appreciative, is they take a lot of time in converting their MPI or any silk that they use or over-dyed floss that they use, converting it into DMC. And I did compare because I was really trying to decide, do I want to use the silks or do I want to do the DMC? And they are so close. I really could have done the silks and not have noticed, but I am using the silks. And I am stitching this on 36 count Fog by Picture This Plus. And because it's 36 count, I am using 1 strand of silk over 1 strand of linen. Actually, I'm doing 1 over 2, excuse me. So I have stitched the butterfly, and I've mentioned this before, it's a lot of color changes. So this is one that I stitch when I'm really focused, and but I am enjoying stitching on the 36 count. I am trying to step out of my comfort zone and stitch a little bit more on 36 count and 40 count. But if you notice, it's ones that I don't pull very often. I'm still not used to it. So my eyes, it just takes a little bit longer to adjust, but I'm enjoying it. I love the end result. I like how the finished product looks on the smaller count linen. So maybe I'll introduce a little bit more of that in future projects. But that is Hello from Liz Matthews, Butterfly Cloche. All right, so you all have been hearing about my Quaker Christmas stitch along that I've been doing with Artie at the Vintage Stitcher. And if you have not watched her Flosstube, go and check her out. She's wonderful. She, in the month of June, I'm so impressed. She did a Flosstube every single day. And she and I met back in March, and we decided to do a stitch along together, and we are doing that with Bygone Stitches, A Quaker Christmas. And this is a chart that I have had for a long time, and I saw that she had it. She featured it in one of her videos, and I suggested that we do a stitch along together. So we started in June, but this is a stitch along that you can start anytime you want. You can stitch on it when you want. Some people have finished. Some people had already had it started from years ago and they pulled it back out of their stash. And some people are just now starting. So I've said it so many times, but all of my stitch alongs and anyone's stitch along, really, I've heard this from so many people, no rules, no homework. It is to be stitch at your own pace and to enjoy it. But here's my progress on A Quaker Christmas. So I've finished this motif. I think when I saw y'all last, I was having to rip this out. So I finished this motif and I added these little ones, and I added some pop of red because I just really wanted to just add some other color. So I am stitching this on 36 count Edinburgh, cream Edinburgh. And I am stitching using the Called For Classic Colorworks Overdyed, which is just 3 colors. There is a DMC conversion, but I am using Balsamic Fir, Cupid, and Ye Old Gold. These are the ones that I'm using. Some people they decided to stitch Quaker Christmas 2 because they had either already stitched Quaker Christmas 1 or they just preferred Quaker Christmas 2. So you stitch either one. It's just so much fun to stitch and to see everybody's progress. If you stitch this and you share it on Instagram, use the hashtag Quaker Christmas SAL. And tag me and Artie in your post so we can see your progress. Another suggestion that I had was, if you don't want to stitch the whole thing, pick some of the motifs out of the design and make little pillows. You can make little smalls or little ornaments or little frame pieces. There's a lot that you can do with this chart. But it's another one. It's on 36 count, and I'm just really enjoying it, but I really have to pay attention because there's a lot to it. And counting is hard. I've told y'all this, so but I've been enjoying it. So that's Bygone Stitches. Some people have found a PDF download on Etsy. So just go to Etsy and you can look up Bygone Stitches or Quaker Christmas. A lot of your local needlework shops will have it. I know that Cross Stitch and Crafts in Johnson City, if you call them, I'll link them below, they can order it for you. If they don't have it in stock. They had some in stock the other day. So lots of places to get it. I will link Johnson City store, Cross Stitch and Craft. And Johnson City is in Tennessee. I live in East Tennessee, and that needlework store is my closest one. It's about an hour and 45 minutes away from me. So that is Bygone Stitches, A Quaker Christmas. And I will also link all of the Flosstubers that I mentioned today below so you can find them. Okay, I am not going to show my Friendship Friday. I haven't worked on it in a while, so I'll share that one with you next week. But on my Modern Folk Embroidery, this is Fruit of Plenty. And I worked a little bit more. I didn't do a lot on this one, but I did work a little bit more on the border, just extending it down. So this is, and if you're not familiar with Modern Folk Embroidery, Jacob DeGroff has an online store, and all of his patterns are PDF downloads. Every year he does a big stitch along. And how this works is on the first of each month, you get a section of the pattern. Well, I'm still in January. I started this in March, and I'm still working on this one. But I am stitching this on 32 count antique white Belfast linen. And I am using DMC floss, 2 shades of blue. And he encourages people to use any color that they want. And I am using DMC. You would think I'd have it memorized. DMC 932 and 3750. So let me show you those. Those are the 2 blues I'm using. And I just love it. It just reminds me of that old just china and antique china that I've decided to make this a 20th wedding anniversary sampler for my husband and I, and to hang in our bedroom. So that is what I'm hoping to have this done by our next anniversary, which is in April. So that is Modern Folk Embroidery, Fruit of Plenty, and it's just so much fun to stitch. All right, so I am making good progress. This is my last whip I'm going to share with you. I am making really good progress on Summer at Cherry Hill by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. And this is one that, for an example of stitch-alongs, that they're great for encouraging each other to just push on through and finish a product or a project. I've met some friends online while stitching this stitch along, and they have encouraged me, you're almost there, just keep on going. And that's what I envision when it comes to a stitch along. It is a great way to meet people. It's a great way to just push on through those projects that you might get a little tired. And what was 2 things that were kind of stumping me on this. One was the tree. We all remember me talking about this tree, and lately it's been filling in the grass. So I am stitching this on 32 count Vintage Country Mocha linen, and here is my progress. So I have the bottom almost filled in, and the grass has just been driving me crazy. So I have the grass to finish filling in, and then I will go through and work on this section. So after I finish filling in the grass, I just have this section left. So it's a lot of fun. It's one I've wanted to stitch for a long time. So I've really enjoyed working on this. And you know, in some ways, filling in the grass this weekend, or this past week when I was traveling, was easy. I wanted to stitch, but I didn't want to have to follow a pattern. So I pulled this out and was filling in the grass. One thing that's a little frustrating is you see how the flowers in the grass they're a different shade of green from the grass, and that is the truth on how I stitched it. But again, the dye lots must have changed some since this pattern was released, because I don't think you can see the changes in the green for the flowers on mine. So I will finish stitching this and see how I feel about it. If I hold it up and I really can't see the difference, I might go over the flowers with another color, or rip it out and change it, because I really want that green to stand out a little bit more. But those bees are so much fun to stitch. So cute. And someone asked me about the bees. They are not stitched over one. They are stitched over two. So if you're an Ada stitcher, it's totally fine. So hopefully next week I'll have a finish on that. So I'm getting closer to finishing some of these things. So that's exciting. Who is ready for some haul? Now, keep in mind, this is not normal, what I'm about to show you. It's a lot. And it's because I went to so many different stores. So I have made a deal with Kim Gavlik, with Stitch Etc., that I am not buying any more cross-stitch items until after her retreat, which is the last week of September. So that means I can only buy supplies if needed to either finish something or to start a project that I already have. So if I'm missing a floss or something, I can order that. So we're gonna see who can hold out the longest. So we have a little bet. Who can hold out the longest and not buy any more haul until after September? So we'll see. Okay. So what I did was I went to Greenwood, Indiana, and from Greenwood, Indiana, which is south of Indianapolis, we went to Always in Stitches, which is in Noblesville, Indiana. We went to Persnickety Stitches, which is in Zionsville. We went to Fancy Works, which is in Bloomington. And we went to Keepsakes, which is in Cincinnati. Well, not Cincinnati, but outside of Cincinnati. So I'm going to go store by store, show you what I got from those stores, and then tell you about those stores. Because I love to go to different cross-stitch stores and meet the owners, meet the people who work there. I love to just look around, and I like to take my time, primarily because I think that's part of the experience when you go into a needlework store, is to just absorb it all and to soak it all in and take your time. And for me, a lot of that is talking to the people there. Which may be odd to some people, I don't know, but I enjoy doing that. Some people receive it better than others, but that's just how I get to know people, and it brings me joy. So I am going to think about how I'm going to do this. Oh, before I do that, I did forget to show you one more piece of haul that I got. Excuse me, not haul. This is part of haul. Excuse me. I did get some things in the mail before I go through the stores. So I ordered some bags from Dot Goose, and they arrived, and they are adorable. So I got these two bags from Dot Goose. Actually, One was a gift she sent me, and the other was one that I purchased. So Dot Goose is on Etsy, and she makes beautiful project bags. So this is a Christmas one, and it came with this, or I purchased the little needle book to go with it. And this is to keep your needles and to keep your floss all in one. And isn't that adorable? So with Jolly July, I thought this would be cute. I'm going to work on some Christmas ornaments and try to get some of my Christmas cross stitching done. So I got that one. And then for my Tomato Tuesday, she sent me this. And I just love that fabric. So that was so sweet. Thank you so much. Dot Goose on Etsy. And then I got a Nikki's Notable bag with tomatoes. That came in actually before I went to Michigan. So it's been in for a while. The Dot Goose bags came in while I was out of town in Indiana. So, all right. So now I'm ready to tell you about the stores. So the first store we went to was in Noblesville, and that is Always in Stitches. And Always in Stitches is a fabric store. It's primarily a quilt store, and in the back of the store they have some cross stitch. And they have lots of quilting material, beautiful material. And it's so well organized. A lot of people working there to help you. Beautiful just pairings and a lot of pre-cuts. They had a lot of jelly rolls, a lot of charm packs, a lot of notions. Lori Holt, little trinkets and notions and all those fun gifts that she has. They had a lot of those. I've never seen that many in one store. Just if you can think it and need it and want it, they had it. They had sewing machines. They had they had wool applique, just so many things in the store, and they were so helpful. But they also had cross stitch. So I was not there to buy fabric, and it was, I showed some restraint. I really did, y'all. I wanted to get some fabric, but I didn't. I held off on the fabric because I'm going back in September. I have so many things I need to work on here, and I was there to help Kim with the cross stitch retreat. But I did get a fat quarter bundle of this adorable Halloween fabric. And I'm going to use this for some of my Halloween smalls. This is Jack. Let me see what it says on the, here we go. This is Jack with Hat, and it's Making It Fun. Jacqueline Patton. It's for Michael Miller Fabrics. So cute. I wish I bought more of that now. But we didn't make a pact about not buying quilting supplies. We only made the pact about not buying cross-stitch supplies. So maybe I can cheat. I'm kidding. I'm going to put a hold on myself. Kim did get me this pineapple needle minder because she knows I love needle minders. And, you know, summer is sweet. So we like to say it's a sweet summer. And we have this needle minder now. I can't get it out. It's sealed. Let me hold it back. So she got me this needle minder, and it looks like a quilt. So it's pink, orange, 2 shades of pink and orange needle minder. And then this, and I am going to go ahead and tell y'all now, I forgot to take everything out of a bag. I was in such a hurry to get this started, so please forgive me. I have wanted to stitch this for a long time. This is Lila's Studio Halloween Quaker, and it's just beautiful. This is a big piece. This stitch count is 261 wide by 180 high. So it ends up being about 13 inches by 9 inches. And they stitched it on 40 count. Maybe I'll get brave and stitch it on 36 or 40, but I just love all those motifs in there. And the color fabric that they used Murky Newcastle linen by Picture This Plus. And I really think that's what makes this such an intriguing piece. It's just so many different textures and layers and colors, and I love it. I can't wait to stitch that, but you know, I'm going to be honest, it's probably not going to be this year. So that was my purchase from Always in Stitches. Cute store, exterior of the building is painted like a smoky gray, and it has a quilting star painted on the side of it. It's so cute. If you are in the Indianapolis area, I highly recommend, and if you want quilting fabric and cross stitch, I highly recommend you going there. In the back of the store where their cross stitch is, they have all the new releases. They have linen, they have a clearance section, they have like I said, wool applique things. It's just a great store if you are both a quilter and a cross stitcher and you want some, or if you're just a cross stitcher and you're wanting some finishing fabric. Beautiful store. All right, so then we left that store, Always in Stitches, which is in Noblesville, and we decided Persnickety Stitches, which is in Zionsville, was just about 45 minutes away. So we decided to do those two stores in one day. And the purpose of us going to these stores is we want to be able to tell the people who are attending the retreat a little bit about these stores. So if time is, if they don't have a lot of time and they can only go to one or two, maybe they'll have a little bit more information of what each store has to offer, and that'll help them make an informative decision. And so we took one for the team, and we really decided to go and do some homework for the attendees. So we left Always in Stitches and went to Persnickety Stitches. So Zionsville, where the store is located, is on sort of like a main street, and it has the brick cobblestone road street. Everything is picturesque. It looked like just this old New England town in the middle of Indiana, and all the porches had American flags, and it was just really charming. Lots of boutiques, restaurants, shops, super cute. So, but Persnickety Stitches has 2 levels, and it's a small store. So when you walk in, it's primarily a needlepoint store. So everything in the main room when you walk in is needlepoint canvases, all the materials and things you need for needlepoint. So that, I got the impression it was primarily their focus, but they did have a separate room full of cross-stitch patterns. So they had some newer releases, and then they also had some older patterns that I haven't seen in a long time. So 2 separate rooms, and then stairs in the middle. Upstairs they have linen for cross stitch, and they have a table, I guess for people who want to go and hang out and stitch, and then they have some clearance sale patterns as well. So this is what I got at Persnickety Stitches. I got the Square Dance Heart and Hand. This one is Christmas, just the Christmas Square Dance. And I am wanting to do all 3 of these. I think they would make perfect Christmas ornaments. So I got that, and I got widgets and wool primitives. I had never stitched any of their things before. This was a clearance item, and it's Trick or Treat. And some of the things I did for Kim this past weekend, which is why I did not have a lot done on my whips, is because I was stitching some things for her to have for her retreat. And so this is one of them. I stitched this on this linen I got at Persnickety Stitches. This is 32 count Pumpkin Weeks Dye Works linen, and it is so much fun to stitch on. It is perfect for Halloween or fall, and I don't know if y'all can see that color. Great linen. I got the last bit that she had. She was able to do a little reduction in price because I bought what she had left. And I stitched a couple of Halloween smalls on this for Kim to take for the retreat. So that is Weeks Dye Works Pumpkin 32 count linen. Super fun. I already have Halloween plans for that. I think I'm going to do some Prairie Schooler Halloween smalls on this. I think that'll be perfect for it. And the last thing I got at Persnickety Stitches is a Kathy Barrick ornament, and I've already had Kim in the works to have Travis make me a ornament tag to stitch this on. This is First Snow, and I think that's just adorable. I love it. So those are my purchases from Persnickety Stitches. So if you're ever in the Zionsville area, go and check her store out, okay? So now, so that was on Saturday. We did those 2 stores. And then that night, Kim says to me, I'm almost asleep, and she says, you know, Annie, with one eye open. And I said, yes. And she said, we're not very far from Keepsakes in Cincinnati. She said, we actually don't even have to go through Cincinnati to get there because of the way, if you look on the map, Indiana, and from Indianapolis, from South Indianapolis, the way you travel is you come into the northern side of Cincinnati. So we looked at the map and saw that it was an hour and 45 minutes from our hotel to Keepsakes. And that's all it took for me. I was like, well, I've always wanted to go, and we're this close. We need to check it out. We may have some people who would be willing to take that journey because of the construction that we sat in and the traffic we sat in to go to Always in Stitches and Persnickety Stitches and to Bloomington. We factored in that it may be shorter distance as far as mileage, but we spent just as much time in the car because of the construction and the traffic. So we made the decision to go and check out Keepsakes, and I am so glad we did. We had the best day. We did that on Monday, and not very many needlework stores are open on Mondays. So Keepsakes is open on a Monday. Always check these hours. If you ever hear me mention a store hour about of a needlework store or a cross stitch store, please double check because things happen. Sometimes these stores have to change their hours suddenly, but Keepsakes is open on Mondays. So we were able to work it into our schedule. So we worked really hard on Sunday to get all of our administrative type work done, and then we went to Keepsakes on Monday. So we left the hotel at 9. We were there by 10. Well, actually we left at 9:15 because we had to stop and get coffee and gas and that kind of thing. So we got to Keepsakes at 11 o'clock, and they opened at 11 o'clock. And we were like 2 little kids pulling into the playground. We're like, ah, we're here, we're so excited. And we were there from 11 to 12:15, left to go eat lunch, and then we came back. And it was so much fun. If you are ever in and around the area of Cincinnati, I highly recommend going to this store. This was, and you know, we're cross stitchers, right? You all understand what I'm saying. This was the best day. I had so much fun. The staff that works there are amazing. There's Lenny. She's hysterical. She could be a stand-up comic. She and I have the same sense of humor because we were just, I could have spent all day with her. Her knowledge of everything cross stitch is amazing. We met Susan, we met Barbara, the owner, we met Steph from Pam and Steph Just Keep Stitching. We met 310 the cat. Barbara has a cat, a black cat. Her name is 310. We met fellow viewers who watch our Flosstube. Kim has her own channel and customers of hers. And I got to meet Kim, a viewer of mine, and her name's Kim. And we were standing in the same room, and she said, "Are you Annie? Are you the proper stitcher?" And I said, "Yes." And that was the first time that's ever happened to me. And she said she wasn't going to say anything, but I am so glad she did because it was just nice. And then we were able to talk about the Blackbird design, Home for the Holidays, and how she wanted to stitch it, but she couldn't find it. And then we realized she was looking for the wrong book. And so anyway, that was so much fun. So we went to lunch, came back, and we closed the place down. Well, kind of. They closed at 5. We left a little after 4. But here's my haul from Keepsakes. So first of all, I got a lot of floss. I'm not going to go through all that, but I got floss because I needed some to fill some colors, but also got some floss to go with some of the patterns I purchased while I was there. So first, let me tell you about the house. So the house, it's an old Sears house, Sears and Roebuck house, and it is 2 stories. So you pull in, and there's the iconic Keepsakes sign in the front, and adorable front porch with this huge chalkboard, all these adorable plants and gardens, and just a fun porch, very inviting. And you walk in, and the living room of the house is where they have all of the current, sort of the new releases. Teresa Kogut's trunk show was there. They have all of their needle minders and all of the notions that you may need lined up in the front, and then their cash register. And just so many models stitched and framed, different sizes. They have smalls, they have big pieces stitched. If you can, and I've never been in a store that had so many stitched models on the wall, and pillows and drums, and that's where you just walk in, and you're just your mouth is open. You just can't help but stare at everything. And that's what we did for the first hour. We just walked through the whole house, and we couldn't believe it. And we were like, look at that, look at that. It was so much fun. But they have a room, so you go into the dining room, and that is sort of where they host their Friday stitch-ins, I guess is what they call it. And it's a big room. They also use it as their work table and their cutting table. And in the kitchen is where they keep all the linen. So they have tubs and tubs and tubs of linen. One thing to keep in mind is, if you've ever heard of StitchCon, that is a cross-stitch retreat that Keepsakes host in the summer in June. And it's something that Barbara came up with a few years ago, and it is a retreat to bring Flosstubers and cross-stitchers or viewers together. So they had just finished their second weekend of StitchCon, and both weekends they had over 300 people come. So they had 2 weekends, 300 people, so about 600 people go through their store. And their store was still well stocked, so many patterns, so much inventory. They were getting inventory in while we were there. They were not out of anything. And I found that to be very impressive, that they were prepared. They knew they were going to have a lot of people come through that store, and they kept their inventory going. Very much appreciated. Anyway, so they were unpacking some inventory while we were there, so we got to see them bring out just bolts and bolts of linen, which is just a dream. So then you go upstairs, and I posted some photos on Instagram and on my Facebook page. So go back and look at those if you'd like to see them. But going up the stairs on both sides, they have so many models stitched just everywhere. And then upstairs, when you get upstairs, each bedroom is a theme. So you go upstairs, the hallway is lined with more models, but then the bedrooms off the side of the hallway are different themes. So one bedroom is just spring and Valentine's. One bedroom is patriotic and baby samplers, things like that. And then the biggest bedroom of all, and my favorite bedroom of all, was Christmas and Halloween, all in one room, everywhere, floor to ceiling, models stitched, color changes that are out of this world, just amazing, amazing, amazing things. And then down the hall and to the left is all of the floss. They had every floss that you can imagine, every brand, everything you could need. And then what people do at StitchCon is they bring charts that they no longer need or want or that are old, and they put them out on a freebie table. And so after the event, they bring those freebies to their store, and if you want, you can dig through all of the baskets of free charts. So you can see how you can easily spend an entire day in Keepsakes. So here's what I got from Keepsakes. So in the Halloween room, I saw this adorable Threadwork Primitives October Jack. And what I loved about this is they had, again, the models do it for me all the time. They had the model stitched and they changed the colors of the pumpkin. So they changed these, the pattern calls for DMC, okay? But they changed it to beige for the stem, melon patch for the pumpkin, and guacamole for the rest of the stem. And then the wording I have is swamp water, so I didn't get that. Or carriage black, excuse me. So those are the three. Melon patch is really what did it for me, changing the pumpkin to melon patch. It was so adorable. And then they had it finished just like this, because this was a kit at one time. So they had it finished just like this. It has a little pocket with some bittersweet stuck in it. Perfection. Really, really pretty. So October Jack by Threadwork Primitives came home with me. As I mentioned, Teresa Kogut had a trunk show. I don't know if I mentioned that or not, but Teresa Kogut had a trunk show at StitchCon, and she let Keepsakes keep her trunk show for the week. I was so glad she did, because I was able to see it. So I got her new All Hallows Eve cross stitch pattern. Excuse me, it's called Whimsy Halloween, but it says All Hallows Eve. But this is Whimsy Halloween, and I got linen and the floss to do this. That is probably going to be one of my Halloween starts this year. It was adorable seeing the model stitch, and they were all Teresa's models. And she stitched it on 40 count, and I got 40 count. So say a little prayer for me. All right, so that's that Teresa Kogut. All of her new releases were there. It was, I only got two. I got a couple for Kay, our friend Kay, who couldn't join us. She was on her 33rd wedding anniversary trip in Asheville, North Carolina. So Kim and I got her some goodies along the way. So I got her a couple of Teresa Koguts. Kim got her one or two. We got her some fun things. But this is the other one, Stretton. And this was stitched on 35 count. And I got the linen and the floss to start this one too. I just love that. Look at Santa. He's just strutting along and Rudolph is prancing behind him. So cute. So I got those two. And then, I'm not going to take this one out because it's one of those hard ones. This is a old with thy needle and thread, Peace on Earth. And this is, this was stitched, it looks like on a table runner. And she made a pocket, Brenda Gervais made a pocket, and then put some old, primitive looking candy cane, brush bottle, candy cane sticks in there. And some greenery. But what I think I'm going to do is stitch it in an ornament and maybe put it on one of Kim's green paddles. So I'm going to stitch it in red, but put it on a green paddle. I thought that would be quick and easy and a nice ornament to do. I got a new Luminous Fiber Arts, Savor Every Stitch. And I'm on this theme where I want to get things stitched for my sewing room. So y'all have seen a lot of my sewing theme related patterns I've picked up. But this with the blue, that navy blue, I love blue. Y'all know that's my favorite color. So that is one I hope to start. I'll probably finish that one into a pillow though. I don't know. I may make a frame piece to put on the wall. I have not stitched a My Big Toe pattern before, but they had this stitched in on the wall, and it says, take each day one stitch at a time. And I just love it. That's a fun one. Okay, tomatoes. Y'all know I love tomatoes. So they had a hands-on design tomato biscornu finished, and I loved it. They had this right here, right there. You see that? They had that finished, and I loved it. And the directions on how to finish it are in here. But this is hands-on design, My Stitcher's Heart. And everything in here is cross-stitch themed. So it has at the top, it says, needle and thread, may they never part. It's the key to unlock a stitcher's heart. And that's what this is up here. And then this tomato here has red vines, or red tomatoes stitched all on it. And they changed the color to Schoolhouse Red. So I got the Schoolhouse Red to change it. Here's a little scissor fob. And then a needle book at the bottom. So everything in here is, you know, wouldn't this be so cute to have it stitched and either give it as a gift or keep it for yourself for when you go to retreats or when you go to your stitching friends and you have all of your cute little stitching stuff. I would look like I have my stitching act together. Okay, and then I got a JBW Designs Scandinavian Christmas. They had this stitched in a model, and it's beautiful with all the red. I think I'm going to do it all with the red, but I might add a little pop of green somewhere. But that's really pretty. And the finished size is not too big. It's like 5 by 10. And then I got, I hope y'all don't mind me taking these out of the package. I just figure you don't want to see the glare. And okay, Brenda Gervais Pumpkin Brew. I got this one. They had this one finished and stitched, the model, and they had a La-Di-Da, by La-Di-Da. I don't know if you know the pattern. I have to dig it out of my stash. I have it stitched. I stitched it for Halloween one year. And it's by the pricking of my thumb, something wicked this way comes. And it's the witch's boot and just her leg that you can see, and it has those words, and it has a spider web. One of my favorite Halloween pieces I've stitched, and I'll show y'all closer to Halloween. But what they did is they merged these two patterns together. So they had, and I'll post a picture of it. I'll try to, I think I have a picture of it. So they have this pattern, and on either side of the witch, they have merged those words. And it was the most interesting thing I've seen to blend these two patterns together. So that was my inspiration for getting this. Whether or not I blend the two together or not, I don't know. But I love all the Brenda Gervais Halloween, and I really liked this one. And I didn't have it. So then I saw this Madame Chantilly Christmas design. As you can see, I spent a lot of time in this one room. But I got Madame Chantilly. And this one is Gifts for Santa. And it's all the kids lining up to give Santa his presents. So cute. I got another JBW Design Halloween. And everywhere I went this weekend, or this past week, all the shops I went to, they had this done. They had somebody, every store had this stitched as a model. And I just thought, it's calling for me. And so finally I bought it. It's so cute. And then I got one more hands-on design. I may have purchased this at another store. But this is with this needle ivy thread. And this comes with these little needles that you add to the needle book. And I thought this would be a nice needle book to make. So, if you remember, I mentioned in Keepsakes, they have a couple of models that are stitched on different stitch counts, and which is very appreciative for me to see, because then I can see the different sizes of what it's going to look like. So, for instance, they had this Heart and Hand Bluebird sampler stitched as a model. And they have a lot of these pillows stitched, but they have the pillows stitched so you can see what it looks like in 32 count or 36 count or 40 count. So they have a couple of their models that are finished into pillows. They are stitched in different linen counts. And I'm a visual person, and so it was good to see the two side by side. And so this I couldn't resist with the blue. Y'all, again, I love blue. And I got the Dungarees blue floss to stitch this. And I have some Williamsburg fabric I bought when I was in Williamsburg. I'm going to do a similar finish with rickrack and finish this into a pillow. So that's a heart and hand. They also have a Redbird sampler if you ever want to pick that up. But I got the blue. That is all the patterns I got from Keepsakes. And then I got some linen. I got 40 count Picture This Plus Whimsy. And this is to stitch the Halloween Teresa Kogut Whimsy stitches, Whimsy Halloween. I love the modeling on this one. So that's a Picture This Plus Mellow is the color, 40 count. I'm trying to be a big girl, and I'm trying to step out of my comfort zone and try some new counts. So let's see how that works out for me. This is what I got for the Santa Stretton, the Teresa Kogut Stretton. This is Weeks Dye Works 40 count beige, and it's just a beige linen. There's no modeling on it, but it's a pretty dye color. And then I got some linen for my stash. I'm trying to build up my linen stash. I feel like I use a lot of the same colors. It's sort of like for a while with my clothes, I wore black all the time. I sort of get in a habit of using the same linen over and over and over, which is fine because I love it. But I want to kind of step out of my comfort zone and try some new things. So they helped me do that. This is 32 count linen, Weeks Dye Works. The color's linen. Well, she didn't write down the color. I think it's just linen. Here is that color. It's a nice dark brown. It's really pretty. So this would make a great, this is just a good all over anything color. I have always wanted to try Fox and Rabbit linen, and they had just this left. This is all they had left of it. And I thought, oh, I'll try it. Here's something else I'm trying. Are you ready for this? This is 46 count ballet slippers. It's kind of a pink, like a very pale pink. Not sure what I'm going to stitch on it. I'm not sure if I can stitch on it with it being 46 count. But Susan said, you can do it. She said, just try it. It's not that big of a difference from 40. And I thought, well, then why is there a difference? So we'll see. We'll see if I can do it. But I do have a good magnifier, and I do have a good light. I just need to figure out what I want to stitch on it. So 46 count Fox and Rabbit ballet slippers. I got 32 count Picture This Plus Arctic. The modeling on this is really pretty. I have the 32 count Stormy Night Belfast that I'm stitching the Plum Street sampler on. This is lighter than that. So this is the modeling is still pretty and still a good modeling to it, but it's a lot lighter than the Stormy Night. And so I liked that about it. And then I got Weeks Dye Works 32 count Guacamole. And I thought this would be a fun green to stitch either spring things on or even some Halloween. So like I did with the Pumpkin Weeks Dye Works fabric and stitched the black on it for Halloween, I'm going to do the same with this for Halloween. And I might do some Prairie Schooler or even some of the newer ones, some of the Halloween silhouettes that I've seen. I might stitch that on this. One last thing I got from Keepsakes, and the day was coming to an end, and I was getting sad because I didn't want to leave. But in their case at the cash register, they have a local artist. They have some pieces in there, and they have a local artist that does little teeny tiny small paintings. And guess what they had? They had a tomato. So I had to get it. I got this little tiny tomato. They had other things painted in there, But I got the tomato, and it came on an easel, and guess where it's going? It's going on one of these shelves behind me. So I got, for my tomato obsession, my newfound rabbit hole, a tomato painting. Isn't that cute? I love it. I absolutely love it. So, and it sits on a little easel. I mean, how cute is that? So that is probably my favorite thing I got this whole trip, because it's non-cross-stitch related, but it's cross-stitch related. So that brings my day to Keepsakes to an end. And we got in the car and drove back to the hotel, and all we could do was talk about absolutely everything we saw in that store. We talked about it for the rest of the day. That was Monday. We talked about it all day Tuesday. We're still talking about it. If you are ever in that area, I highly recommend taking a slight detour or a weekend trip or a night trip. Just check their hours. I know they're closed on Thursdays and Sundays as of now. I believe they're on vacation this week for the first week of July. But other than that, call and check their hours and go. You will not be disappointed. Okay, so that was Monday, and then we went on Tuesday. Tuesday we went to Fancy Works, and Fancy Works is in Bloomington, Indiana. It was about an hour drive from our hotel, and we just had a good time in there. We also saw another viewer in Fancy Work, and Tracy was kind enough to stop and say hi to us, and we're so glad she did. Tracy is quite the retreat goer, because she goes to retreats, it seems like, often. So she was a lot of fun to talk to. She's the one who told us the lay of the land inside Fancy Works. She told us how it was organized, where everything was. She actually lives in Illinois, so she was just there for the day. She says she goes to that store a couple of times a year, so it was a lot of fun meeting her. So Fancy Works is in a strip mall, like in a shopping center in Bloomington, and they have a lot of just a lot of patterns to go through, then a huge area to sit and stitch. So there were a lot of women in there stitching. I would say probably about 6 women in there stitching. So how they have their store organized is, when you walk in, they have these little rounders that have patterns on it, and they're organized by theme. So it's either Christmas or spring or whatever the theme is, and she has a sign above it, and so you look through all those patterns. And then you go around past the rows of those patterns, and then in sort of baskets, she has more of the current releases. So if you're looking for Plum Streets, all the Plum Street samplers are in one basket. If you're looking for Brenda Gervais with Thigh Needle and Thread, so on, they're all in one basket. And so you just kind of thumb through the pattern baskets and find what you're looking for. So I found, and I'm not going to take these out because the video is getting long, and I still have other things I want to show y'all. So I got the Plum Street samplers, My Peaceful Home drum pattern. You can any of the drum patterns, you can not turn them into a drum, but I really want to learn how to do a drum soon. So I got this one. I got When Santa's Away, Brenda Gervais with Thigh Needle and Thread, and I love her mice, but these are super cute. And then I got an Annie B's Folk Art Country Christmas 1. These ornaments I thought were precious with the check plaid border. So that's all I got from Fancy Works that day. And then we left there, went back to our hotel, and I was actually supposed to come home Wednesday, and I was not feeling well. My stomach was upset. Just I guess not being home for several days, and I was so tired. So we decided to extend our trip one more day, and so we rested, we stitched, just did some last minute things before the trip home on Thursday. So on Thursday I left, and my journey home takes me through Louisville, Kentucky. And y'all have heard me talk about the Finishing Touch in Louisville, Kentucky, my other all-time favorite store. I have a lot of favorites, but it's really high up there on my favorite. And Kim asked if I would swing by and stop and see Sandra and Carol and tell them about the retreat, because she wanted to give these shop owners sort of a heads up that there's going to be about 80 women in the area who may want to come and see their store. So I went to Louisville, Kentucky on my way home yesterday, and it was right off the interstate, easy to get there, so it really didn't detour me that much. The worst part about my drive home yesterday was it rained all day long. It was storming rain all day. So it turned my 5-hour drive home, if you take out my stop in the finishing touch, it turned a 4-hour drive to a 6-hour drive. So it was a pretty long day. But this is what I got at the finishing touch. And I'm not going to take these out. I apologize for the glare. I forgot to take everything out. Okay, I got Fancy Blacket, the Perfect Pumpkin, Pie Mary Lane. I thought this would be an adorable Halloween small for I do a lot of Halloween decorating, and I thought this would be super cute in a pillow or as a Halloween ornament. So I got the Pine Berry Lane. I got Plum Street Samplers Yuletide Shanty, and this is a drum, and I've admired Sandra's drum. She has this stitched in her store and finished into a drum for a long time, and I just overlook it because, you know, I didn't feel comfortable making a drum, and was it gonna, you know, I'm not gonna make this into a drum. Well, I was watching Just Keep Stitching, Pam and Steph. If you have not, I know a lot of my viewers are new to cross stitch, or you're new to watching Flosstube. Pam and Steph with Just Keep Stitching, they have been around a long time, and they have a lot of subscribers, and I recently found them over the last few months. But they have a lot of subscribers. Well, they do every year on Christmas Eve or around Christmas Eve, they do an ornament parade, if you will. All the ornaments they stitched or received that year. And Pam shared this as an ornament she stitched. So she took the top of this and just made that her ornament. And I thought, no, I can do that. I would love this as an ornament. So it's Santa on a pirate ship, I guess, if you will. And on the side are little ornament wreaths. I thought this would be so cute. And if you have a little boy and you do little boy or your kids' ornaments every year, that would be a great ornament to stitch for them. But I have a son, but I didn't think about him when I saw it. I was like, I'm just going to stitch it for us. But this would make a cute ornament. And I got that idea from Pam. Off of Just Keep Stitching. And then I got the Scarlet House. This is so witchy and so SEW witchy. And Sandra had this stitched as a model, and it was hanging on the wall. It was framed. And she said she used buttons from her mom's collection. But look at that witch and that tomato and all those spools of thread. It was really cute. I thought that would be fun to have out. This is a pattern I've wanted a long time, and this is Peppermint Holly, Brenda Gervais. And so that is beautiful. I got 3 Stacy Nash pieces. This is Deck the Halls Pin Keep. And she has a satin ribbon tied as her belt. I thought that was beautiful. This is the Good Witch Pin Keep. She also has a satin ribbon tied as a belt. And that little black strawberry, so cute, so cute. I love Stacy Nash, and I didn't realize, Kim told me this, Stacy Nash lives in Indiana, and I had no idea that she was so close. This is Sleigh Bells Pin Keep and Ornament. So you get 2 in this one. And I thought that was adorable. Last haul of the whole trip. Last but not least, one of my favorites. I love Barbara Anna Designs. This is Hocus Pocus. And look at how cute that is. So that is all of my haul I got on this trip. So as you can see, I'm done with haul for a while. Reining it in. So take a deep breath. I'm going to take a quick sip of tea. And now we're going to go into Flosstubers I've been watching. Oh, real quick though. I want to give you an update on my sister, Lisa. So thank you all for your continued prayers and messages and asking about how my sister's doing. For those of you who are new, my sister Lisa, she was diagnosed with lung cancer back in February, and she started chemo the end of April. She started chemo and radiation. So since I saw y'all last, she has finished her chemo and her radiation treatments. She is having new scans taken next week on Tuesday, and they will read she has an appointment on Thursday to find out the results of those scans. And from there, they will determine what her next course of treatment will be. So Dan said that her fatigue has subsided a little bit. She's not coughing as much. She's not short of breath as much as she used to be. So they're looking at that as a good sign. Lisa and Dan are. She just feels better. The chemo is still working in her system. So they're hoping that they are also aware that the scan images that they will see may also be a bit premature because the chemo is still working in her system. So thank you for your continued support and prayers for her. I really do appreciate it. And I am a big believer in the power of prayer, so please keep them coming. So some Flosstubers I have been watching, and there are so many out there, and I have been behind a little bit on my Flosstube watching because I've been busy and in the car, meaning not busy as in not too busy to watch, but I mean I've been driving or can't watch Flosstube and drive at the same time. So as I mentioned, I have been watching a lot of Just Keep Stitching with Pam and Steph. Hysterical, funny. They really keep you entertained. They film every Sunday. I have found Celeste Creates. I will link all of these channels below. Celeste Creates. She does beautiful finishing, absolutely beautiful finishing, and she has some tutorial videos as well. Needles in My Hand. Her name's Jackie. She does a lot of knitting and cross stitching. Very, very informative Flosstuber to watch. And then last but not least is Crazy Band Lady Stitches, and her name's Zan. She's also from Tennessee. She's from West Tennessee, so she lives outside of the Memphis area. I'm from East Tennessee. I live in Knoxville area, so two completely different sides of the state, but she's a fellow Tennessean, so it was fun to watch hers. She's actually the one who asked me about StitchCon and told me about StitchCon. Up until then, I had no idea what StitchCon was. So several months ago, she asked me if I was going, and that's how I found out about her. So those are some Flosstubers to go and check out while you're stitching. I've gotten to where that's what I watch the most. If it's not a Hallmark movie, which are July movies right now, I'm watching Flosstube or whatever sporting event my son is watching at the time, because that's really the only time I get to sit with him, and he'll watch something on TV and I'm stitching, and it's kind of nice. He doesn't realize I'm wanting to hang out with him, or that I am. He knows I want to hang out with him. He doesn't realize it's hanging out with mom when he's watching something like sports related on TV. So I'll hang out with him while he's doing that. So let's go through the giveaways from last week. Before I forget, and I won't forget because I'm going to show you the gifts that I got. Actually, I should probably do the gifts next because I don't want to miss shouting out some of these people. I'll do my gifts that I've received, and then I'm going to do our giveaway winners. Because I was traveling, I am very late with my correspondence. There are some giveaways that I have not gotten in the mail, and there are some thank yous I have not gotten in the mail. I just have not been home. And I came home to some beautiful, beautiful presents. And none of them, I mean, and I know that when I receive these things, they are from the goodness and the kindness of your heart. And I do not expect anyone to send me anything, but they are so appreciated and so heartfelt. And I just wanted to share them with you. I got an adorable card from Belva. Belva won one of the giveaways, and she sent me a card that she made. So cute. Look at those chickens. And in her card, in her letter, she wrote me a letter. And she talks about how she too has a love for chickens. And she mentioned how I like to watch. I said how watching chickens can be relaxing, just to watch their personalities and their activities. And she talks about that as well. So thank you for your sweet, sweet card and the time you took to make the card and to write your letter. I really appreciate that, Belva. I have recently become friends online with Judy from JBW Designs and Judy Whitman. She has a Flosstube channel, and I mentioned her last time. Go and check out JBW Design, Judy Whitman. From JBW Designs. She sent me an email, and she's been watching my Flosstube, and I was just mesmerized that she found me and that she sent me a message, because I'm a fan of Judy's. I love her patterns, and in fact, one of the patterns I stitched for Kim this weekend was the witch's hat from JBW Designs. But she sent me all of these designs, packets of designs and booklets for you all to give away. She sent me everything from Christmas designs to baby designs to French country designs. You name it, she sent it. And that was so generous of her to share all of this with us. So I'm going to use these as giveaways too. And that was wonderful, a wonderful surprise. Thank you so much, Judy. But go to her Flosstube, subscribe to her channel, and she goes through in detail how she makes her patterns and how she sends them to her printer and her finisher, and she stitches and does most of the finishing actually, but if she just the whole process that she goes through. Very, very generous. Thank you, Judy. I really appreciate that. And she knows I like chickens, so she sent me a lot of roosters and chickens too. And then I got some more giveaways from one of my viewers who does not want me to mention her name, but she sent me some duplicates that she had. So I have those for giveaways too. Thank you so much for that. You know who you are. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate it. All right. So, last but not least, I got this from Karen. And she sent me just the sweetest card. And just said the kindest, the dearest words. I really do appreciate it. She stitched me this tomato pincushion for Tomato Tuesday. And that was so sweet of her. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I mean, it's just so special. Thank you. So I also got another package, and I don't see it here. Someone sent me some fabric, and if I don't find it in my stack, I will also show it to you next week. I am so sorry, but someone sent me 2 charm packs of fabric, blue and white, and it was just so special. I really appreciate that too. Another surprise I got in the mail, I received these thread keeps from her card. These came from Laurel Kendrick, and she sent those to me, and I'm going to use those, so thank you so much for sending those. Okay, let's get through to our giveaway winners from last time. Okay, so here we go. Number 1 was the rooster from Lucy Beams Love and Stitches. Number 1 goes to Beth Meek, M-E-E-K, Beth Meek. Let me back it up. If I call your name, please email me. My email will be below, but it is theproperstitcher@gmail.com. If you want to be entered into a giveaway, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and comment below with the question that I give you with your answer below. I will give the number associated with each giveaway, and you list that number in the giveaway that you want. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So these are the giveaway winners from last week. Number 2, Jeannie Kenna. And that's Jeannie, J-E-A-N-N-E, Kenna, K-E-N-N-A. Number 3 is Paula Dawn. Paula Dawn, one boo to you. Dawn, Paula Dawn. Number 4 is Stephanie Campbell Weitzman. She won this Shakespeare's Peddler Antique Lock and Keys, and I'm going to add an antique key that I have with this pattern. And number 5 is Long Dog Stitcher, and that's Long, L-O-N-G, Dog, D-A-W-G, Stitcher. She won the Threadwork Primitives Give Thanks. So, everyone, please contact me by email. Let me know what you won, and send me your address, and I'll get these in the mail to you. I have a stack of things that I am mailing out next week. I apologize again for the delay in my correspondence with everybody, but I'm back in town. I'll get caught up. So I do have a few more things to show you that came in to me, because some of them are giveaways. Oh, here is the charm packs. This was so sweet. This was from Cleta. Cleta won a giveaway. She said she had so many charm packs, and she was not going to use these, and she wrote me the sweetest note. But she said that she knew I loved blue, and she had some extra charm packs. So Cleta sent me 2 charm packages. That is so nice. And look at that. All of those sweet blues. And I'm going to add a package of white charm packs I have, and this will make the perfect throw. Or I might even make placemats. I've been wanting to learn how to make placemats. So very pretty. Thank you so much, Cleta. I really do appreciate you. And then I got a surprise in the mail. A really big one. Hold on. Yes, I got 2 big surprises. So I found I saw someone on Instagram. She was stitching the most adorable pattern. And it is a Scarlet House pattern. And it says, "This is my happy place." And it is scissors with a spool of thread. And I thought that would be perfect for my sewing room. I've never seen this Scarlet House before. And I commented, "I need this in my life." That's just something I say, and I just thought it was adorable. Well, she said, "You can have it. When I'm done with it, I'll send it to you." Again, the cross-stitching community, they were so sweet. And I said, no, I love it. I think it's beautiful. I've never seen it. You don't have to do that. She's like, "No, she said, someone gifted it to me. I'm a firm believer in paying it forward, and I'm going to gift it to you." And so she did. And she said, "Please, when you're finished with it, can you gift it to someone else?" And so I am, and she asked me to gift it to a friend of hers. And the woman who sent this to me, her name is Patience, and she sent me this pattern. And so when I got it, I sent her a message, and I said, "Oh, thank you. She also sent me a bag with it." And I said, "You didn't have to send me a bag." And she said, "Well, I didn't think that the chart should travel alone." So she sent me the sweetest bag with this little thing, with this little pattern inside. And that was adorable and so sweet and so thoughtful. So that was another surprise I got in the mail while I was gone. And then I got some gift bags. This viewer, and she has an Etsy shop, and I am going to link it below. and her name is Dawn. And she sent me as a congratulations for 3,000 subscribers. This is her business card. She's on Facebook and Instagram, and she has an Etsy store. Her Etsy store is called Gamma's, Gamma''S, Gamma's Treasures. And here's her business card. And her name's Dawn Myers. She is in Canada. However, her shipping is very, very affordable. She combines shipping. I think, oh, let's see. Hold on. I think this whole set that she sent me was less than $10. So she sent me 3 bags. One, she said I could do with them as I wish, but she wants me to give, she said this is for a congratulations for reaching 3,000 subscribers. So these are going to be giveaways. So this one, and they all come with little floss pads. So this is sunflowers, and this came in with it. So pretty. And just the perfect size too. And her fabric choices are beautiful. So the floss pad matches the inside of fabric of the inside of this. And then she sent me this butterfly one. And then this one with some adorable bees. And they all have I'm calling them the floss pads, the holders. So those will be giveaways as well. So thank you so much, Dawn. And I will link her shop below, and it's Gamma's Treasures. All right, so that is all of my gifts. Now it's time for next week's giveaway. So like I said, I have reached 3,000 subscribers, and I could not have done that without all of you watching and commenting and subscribing and sharing and following me. And I just really appreciate that, and I want to give back to you. So I have asked my fellow friends, my friends that have wonderful, wonderful shops and vendors, if they had anything they wanted to share, so we can have a huge giveaway this week. So here's what we have for you. Okay. I have for you, I'm trying to get myself organized. I am going to give you a second to get a pen and paper so you can write everything down that you want. And I have these set aside for you. Okay, one more, hold on. I saw it in here and I can't remember. Okay. Okay. So, you got your pen and paper? You ready? Let's write it down. Here we go. So, the first, number 1, is from Stitch Etc. And Kim Gavlik, she does the wooden boards and the wooden paddles that I have given away in the past. She also sells magnetic boards in Ort containers and all kinds of things like that. So Stitch Etc. is her company. So number 1 is going to be a magnetic board. And by example of you get to choose the color of the magnetic board. So this is an example of a magnetic board. And I keep a lot of my needle minders on this. And this is something when I travel to retreats, or if I'm stitching outside of my house, I put it on the stand that comes with it. And it sits on a stand and it holds my pattern in place. So this is a magnetic board that she sells, but she's giving one to you, to the winner, and you get to choose the color. So number 1 is a magnetic board from Stitch Etc. And you can go and look on her page, on her Facebook page. It's Stitch, Etc. And you can see the colors that she has. I think she has orange and black and blue and white and lime green and pink. So whoever wins that board will get to choose their color, and I'll put you in touch with her. So that's number 1. Number 2 is from JBW Designs. You will get all 3 of these, And I'm gonna, since she gave me so many, I'm gonna spread her giveaways out. But you have 3 in one packet. So you're going to have Patriotic ABCs, and this is what it looks like. Patriotic ABCs. Love, because I love you all and I really do appreciate your support. So this is love. And Sledding Santa. So those 3, that's number 2. Number 3, because of summer, is this bag from Gamma's Treasures. That's number 3. Number 4 is Country Cottage Needleworks December. Number 5 is Not Forgotten Farms Jingle All the Way. And these patterns are from a viewer that she had some extras in her stash. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, number 6 is Priscilla's Pockets. This is Stoneware Pen Pillows 2. Number 7 is Brenda Gervais Baltimore Salt Box. Number 8 is Plum Street Samplers Flirting. And that is all of the giveaways. So there are 8 giveaways. So subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment below, not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8. Please do not use the word giveaway. And the question you're going to answer is, what are your plans for the 4th of July? This Sunday is 4th of July, and what are your plans this weekend? What are some of your family traditions? And if you're watching the video after the 4th, what did you do for the 4th of July weekend? Comment that below. Let me know. I do have an Instagram page. It's The Proper Stitcher. I have a Facebook page. It's The Proper Stitcher. To join the Facebook group, though, there are some questions to answer. I think one is, what's Annie's favorite color? Well, it's blue. How did you hear about the group? And what is your favorite designer? So I put those questions there just to kind of make sure that I'm accepting people into the group who really should be in the group. But please follow me on those avenues. I will be back to my regular scheduling, programming, or however you want to say it, next Thursday. Thank you so much for bearing with me for this long. I know that it has been a long video, but I wanted to make sure that I didn't delay this any longer, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't split it up and make it more confusing. So with that being said, happy 4th of July, happy stitching, and just enjoy yourself and have a good week, and I'll see you next Thursday. Bye.